Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and apart from having a light shone on my face from a reflective window over there that's just been built, wow, what's the chances of that happening? But first I've got some pickups from CEX, HMV, Amazon and Music Magpie, and also I've got an unboxing for you. Now just to note, no physical media was harmed in the making of this clip. And a big shout out to Michael Hewitt for supplying me with the prop to make that video. So I've just received a package here from Rob and Kelvin. Now Rob and Kelvin are in the band, the Preamps. Now this single was gifted to me by Rob and Kelvin, and I've seen the band play live and they are absolutely brilliant. This EP has got my favourite song by them, With My Baby. They do play cover versions as well, of great cover versions of 60s records. And yeah, so we had a great blast. I actually went across with a ladder man, Michael. Speaking of which, I've got some unseen footage of when we went to see them. This is what Michael thought about the concert after the show.
Remember me, the ladder man. I just want to give a shout out to these four lads, the Preamps, who were seen on Bank Holiday Mondo. They were absolutely outstanding, and I wish them all the best in the future. Ciao.
So after that gig, me and Michael went and talked to that band, and Rob says, hey, it's the ladder man. So yeah, so Rob and Kelvin sent me this package here, so I'll get into that. If you have got the chance to see the Preamps, I do urge you to go and see them. I'll leave a link to all their social media down below, and get across and check them out. You won't believe how good they are. Let's see what Rob and Kelvin have sent me. Rob and Kelvin had previously sent me the 4K with a slipcover of Goodfellas, which it's not the best 4K, but it's not as bad as everyone makes out it is. So Rob and Kelvin from the Preamps have sent me you know what? I'm going to say I can't believe this, and you know why I can't believe this? Because I don't know if did I mention this on the video. I was in the shop, I was in HMV, and I said to the Debs, I nearly picked up in the 2 for £24 sale the final piece in the puzzle, as far as I'm concerned, of a Clockwork Orange, and that is the 4K of a Clockwork Orange with a slip and the regular slip, shall I say. And the Debs looked at me like I was criminally insane. She says, another one, you're joking me, you've got two already. And I says, well, I wanted this last piece in the puzzle. And wow, you played a blinder here. It's as if you read my mind. I can't remember if I actually said this, but I can't thank you enough. I do think that this is an absolutely spectacular slip, and when I saw it, because I got what did I get? I got the exclusive version first, like the big package. I couldn't get the Zavvi version, which is fair enough. That went out of print immediately. I got the next best thing, which is just like I didn't have the steel book, which I'm not too fussed about, and it had because I got the Titans of Cult steel book, so that's me two 4Ks. I picked them up at the same time, thinking, well, what do I can't pick, so I'm going to get them both. And I never had a Titans of Cult before, so I let this one slide. But when I saw this on the shelf, I thought, you know what, I could really have this as well. And you know, with the resurgence in me picking up some Clockwork Orange stuff from Baz, it started this off again by giving me the HD DVD. This is amazing. Orange. There's your ultra high definition, and there's your Blu-ray. I'll just show you a quick comparison of the 3 4Ks I have for a Clockwork Orange. So here's the special edition. I originally thought this was an HMV exclusive, but I was wrong. It was just a regular special edition. This has that cover on there, but it's the Amaray case. It's not a steel book, but it's a great edition. Still available, I think. I know I've seen the CEX a few times. Also got the Titan of Cult. This has got this badge in here. It's also got a steel book. This is a really nice edition, and it's my only Titans of Cult that I've owned thus far. Like I say, there's a steel book in here. I'm not a big fan of steel books, but I don't mind them when they come like this because they're nice and protected. And obviously from Kelvin and Rob. I've got this one, which is the standard version of A Clockwork Orange. Now usually I keep all my special editions on the shelves together, but these ones will have to go together. As everybody knows, I'm a massive fan of this movie, and honestly, I was just that close to getting the 4K the other day, and I put it back on the shelf and I thought, well, no, I'll get another one. But it was in my mind to get it. When I told the Debs that I would be upgrading this on 4K in the standard edition, I just got the look. So again, I'm quite speechless at the generosity of people. It really is astounding. So please get across and check some of the stuff out in here, because you'll be very impressed by the preamps. Now, we were going to go and see them this month, but they had to change the venues, so we'll go and get to see them as soon as we can. And these two guys, I've spoken to the band, kind of. I've nodded to the other two guys, the other singer and keyboard player and the drummer. But hopefully what my goal is, if you're watching this, Rob and Kelvin, I would love to get this signed by the full band. This would be a little bit of a thrill for me to have that signed. I don't know, this might be going in a frame somewhere. So thanks once again, Rob and Kelvin. I really, honestly, I can't believe this. And to have this final part in the 4K A Clockwork Orange puzzle is brilliant. So thanks once again, Rob and Kelvin. I really do appreciate this. So cheers, guys. So first up from CEX is a movie that when I saw it, and I saw the title of it, I knew I had to get it. So for £6, I picked up Sweetie, You Won't Believe It. I mean, come on. When you see a title like that, you just know you've got to check it out. But it was always about £10, and I thought, man, I don't know if I want to take a gamble on it because of that. But for £6, I thought it's worth a shot. Now, when I first checked this out, I was surprised to see how wide the widescreen picture is. When I looked on the back here, it says 2.7 to 1. So that just shows you it's a bit of a sort of Super Panavision widescreen ratio. So the picture quality on it is, well, it starts off really bad, and I thought, oh dear, what's this going to be like? But after a little bit, it tidies up, and the picture quality is stunning. So this movie was made in Kazakhstan. But on the back it says English, but it's not. It has English subtitles, but it's in its native language. And this movie looked how I was hoping it was going to look, a little bit strange and quirky. So this movie has been on my radar for a long time, mainly because of its title. So that's Sweetie, You Won't Believe It. So next up, and there's a bit of a story to this, for £3 I got Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, the reason why I got this was because, well, A, it's got a slipcover on, and if I get the 4K, which I want, I've got a slipcover for it, because for some reason the slipcover for the first one has just vanished, and you cannot get it anywhere. So I thought I'd get this so me and the Debs could watch it together, and also then I can check out Sonic 2. If I liked it, I'll get it on 4K. So I said to her, we're going to watch this tonight, and to her face she said, no chance. I said, look, I know what you're thinking, it seems a little bit weird, but just go with it, because I can tell you this, it's such a good movie, it's so funny. So begrudgingly she accepted me offer, and we watched it, and she had an absolute blast with it. And then she said, after the film, because I watched it quite early, she said, I'm going to watch Sonic 2 now. I said, well, if you want. So then we'll watch Sonic 2. So watch 1 and 2 together, which we hardly ever do. So it shows you how much a good time she had with that. And I've got to say, the picture quality on this for a Blu-ray looked stunning. It's one of those ones where you think, do I really need to get the 4K of it? But what I'm going to do now, when I look back on it, because I know that she likes it that much, and we watched Sonic 2 and we had such a good time with Sonic 2 as well, and it looked, on the ultra high definition on Sky, it looked absolutely knockout. So I no doubt that these two would look sensational on 4K. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the double pack of Sonic 1 and 2 on 4K. So that was my plan, and that's why I picked this up. But I do urge anyone who's sitting on the fence with this, go and check it out. It's such a good movie. And obviously the Blu-ray as well looks basically like a 4K. It's stunning. So that's Sonic the Hedgehog. So next I went to HMV, and I picked up a movie that I've been after for such a long time. Now when it come out on Criterion, I thought I've got to get this. It's always been a little bit expensive, but it was in the 2 for £30 sale. So I picked up Eating Raoul. I'll talk about from Sonic the Hedgehog to this film. Wow, what a change. I'll put that on there so you can read it. You can freeze frame it and read it about this movie. There's the special features on there. Now this movie, I actually watched it straight away, which is a rarity for me, because I've seen this movie back in the day. You get this is very pertinent to the movie. So the short story to this movie is that Paul and Mary want to make a restaurant. That's it really, but it's the way they go about it which is a great part of this movie. So this movie is from 1982 and is directed by Paul Bartel, who also directed 1975's Death Race 2000, one of my favourite films of all time, which you cannot get anywhere for Love and the Money. It's got to have a 4K somewhere. It's just sitting in this weird sort of rights battle where you cannot see this movie, where you can pay £200 for it, but I don't think so. I wouldn't care. I nearly had it for £15 one day and I let it slip, but never mind. It has to be re-released soon, and it's coming up to its, well, kind of coming up to its anniversary in 75, 2025. Will it see light of day? Hope so. So anyway, Paul Bartel, with practically all the cast of Death Race 2000 are in this, and he has this really, he's got this, he reminds me a bit like John Waters. He's got this really strange, like dark humour. It's very controversial for its time, this movie. And this normal couple that want to start a restaurant and they've got the money and they want to, and the way they fund it is by, you won't believe it when you see it, and this frying pan comes into action quite a lot. And yes, so they enlist this other fella called Raoul to help them out with this plan, and it all goes to pot. But it's just so brilliant. There's a lot of stars in here actually, probably before they were famous. And I just think this movie is one that I saw way back in the day. I saw it on a VHS and it just vanished forever. And I thought, I've got to see this when it comes around. And when I saw it, I thought, will it hold up to what I originally thought of it? And it does. It exceeds it. And the Criterion version is absolutely brilliant. Of course it is. And spine number 625, I think that is. And I'm so glad that they did it, because these type of movies belong on the Criterion, because Criterion can do loads of great things with John Waters in this and Paul Bartel's. So maybe, hopefully, they will get Death Race 2000. That would be absolutely immense if they could do that. But this movie is such a good movie. Go into it knowing that you're into a very low budget, very strange, and it's got a really good storyline, but it's a really odd storyline. But highly, highly recommended by me. I can't wait to watch this again, actually, after just watching it. That's Eating Raoul. And actually, someone said, would you show that to Deborah? And it's an absolute not to show this to Deborah. She would not get this movie at all. In fact, she would be really disgusted by it. So there you go. That's Eating Raoul. When I was in the HMV there, Debs called us over and says, look who's over there. It was John Hall. So I went over and had a good chat with him. And we're looking on the Criterion to see what I could get to go in the 2 for £30 sale. I couldn't find anyone, so I had to go to the 4Ks for that. But what we're going to do is on Friday, I'm filming this on a Wednesday. On the Friday, John Hall's coming over. And what we're planning to do is, I think he's going to come over around about dinner time. So that means probably afternoon, we'll do a live stream together for a couple of hours. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll happen. If not, we'll record something else and that'll come out at a later date, probably next week. But I'm hoping to get John to do a live stream. He really wants to do one. I really want to do a live stream with him. And because John has got such a great knowledge of movies, as you know, it'd be great to get him on a live stream and have a chat with you all. So that's hopefully coming up on Friday. If not, there'll be a video made on Friday to show it another date. So anyway, so the movie I got to go in the 2 for £30 sale on 4K was Angel Heart. Now, I've been after this one for a long time as well. Now, funny enough, when I got this one, I didn't realise it, but it's got a booklet in, a quite hefty booklet in. Now, we don't usually get any booklets at all in 4K, like a regular 4K, but this is a massive booklet. So if you're ever on the fence with this one, you know you get this huge booklet in there. And I've always been a fan of this movie. I used to have it on VHS back in the day, and it's been on my list to get, obviously in this sale, because you can see this one, the 2 for £30 quite a few times. Sometimes it hasn't got a slip on, but I knew that if I hung around for it, I'll get it eventually on with a slip. So I put this on just to check it out, thinking the quality would be all right. It would be a good upgrade, because I haven't got this movie anymore. I haven't bought it on any other things apart from having the VHS. And when I checked it out, I was really surprised at how good this movie looks. It looks absolutely spectacular, and the dark scenes in this movie, because it's quite dark at times, it looks sensational. The detail on people's faces, your details on clothing as well, his clothing that he wears all the way through the movie, and it gets sort of more and more dishevelled as he goes along. This movie's from 1986, stars Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro. I think this one, Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro, kind of at the height of their prowess, and they play some interesting characters. It's like a film noir. It's like a murder mystery, that type of thing, but I think it's so well done. It's so lovely to look at. Alan Parker, who directed it, he's done a really spectacular job of this movie, and it's kind of forgotten about all in all, but I tell you what, Robert De Niro, although he's not in the movie that much, he plays a great part. That's all I'll say about that. So yeah, so very interested to pick this up. And to be honest, the picture quality was much better than I thought it was going to be. That's Angel Heart. Next up is a movie I was going to get in the sale. But when I saw it there in the flesh, I thought, no, I'm going to have to get it now. So I got Pulp Fiction on 4K. This slip is just sensational. Everything about it I just love. You get loads of little sort of, I mean, look at that, when it touches and that catches the light. It's brilliant. So the movie is an absolute classic. There's no two ways about it. I think this is, it's not my favourite Quentin Tarantino movie, but I think this is his best movie. I think this is most accomplished and the best to look at and the best edit and all that type of thing, the music, but it's not my favourite one. I might do a ranking of his stuff when I've watched a few more of his films, like again, hopefully all on 4K. So I put this on after hearing pretty good things about Reservoir Dogs, so I thought, well, this one should be good as well. And when I put it on, I was blown away. I thought it looked absolutely incredible. So I checked out one of my favourite scenes with Samuel L. Jackson when he gives the monologue to the people when he goes to their house or their flat, and it just looks brilliant. Everything about this picture quality in here is just stunning. The music and the soundtrack as well is just brilliant. I just can't get enough of this movie, and I can't get enough of the fact that how good it looks. So highly, highly, highly recommended on movie and picture quality. That's the amazing Pulp Fiction. So next up, while I get blinded from that light over there, from Amazon I got on 4K The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Now this movie was made in 1920 and it's one of my favourite movies of all time. It's a silent movie, of course, and I knew I had to get this like instantly. I got to get the special edition because this movie just warrants it. It's just it's just perfect on every level. Now in here, in this hard box, you really do some great special editions. So you get the 4K, only the 4K mind. You don't get a Blu-ray with this one. So this movie has everything that was on the previous Blu-ray. So it's all on here, plus a few extra things, a few extra special features, and also another soundtrack. So you've got 3 soundtracks to pick from in there. Also, you get this amazing thick booklet. And this is spine number 92. And it's chock full of pictures, words as well. Tells you all about like German expressionist movies, which this one is probably the most famous one. It just looks spectacular. And I can't wait to read this stuff because it's quite, also the text is huge as well, which is good for me in my eyesight, which is getting worse by the day. It seems that way. And so yeah, so this movie, I've already got the Blu-ray, which is mastered in 4K, and I thought I'm going to have to get this on the 4K. Bear in mind that original negatives for all of this movie don't exist, and I had to make it up with other sort of prints. So some of the scenes look quite low in the quality, but when it gets to the proper negative, you can see it immediately. The picture quality does jump up quite a lot. I mean, you can see it in the Blu-ray, but I'm so dying to see this movie. It's only about an hour and a bit long. I want to watch this at night with the lights off, and get the full to see what this movie is like for picture quality. I want to get a good opinion of it. And what I'll do is I'll talk about that, and when I watch this movie, probably in the end of December, hopefully, and I can give you my opinion on that. But first, opinions do say that this movie is a good upgrade from the Blu-ray. So highly, highly recommended. That's The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. So lastly, what did I get from Music Magpie? Now this came from eBay actually. I was alerted to this by my good friend Baz. Now he got in touch with me and said, have you seen the price of this thing? It was only £2.99, that's posted. I said, well, I am instantly going to get this. So I want to thank Baz once again for the heads up on that. He's a great guy. We've had chats on Instagram videos, had some great chats together. But I'm so excited to pick this up, and you'll see why when I pick it up. I do know what's in here, obviously. So what I got is a Clockwork Orange sealed slipcover, pristine condition, £2.99. Now I was looking at these in HMV and I was going to pick it up. Of course, when I said to Deborah, she goes, "What?" So I don't really tell her about what I'm going to pick up when it comes to Clockwork Orange. But what I did was, when he messaged me and says, "What about this?" I said, "Oh, I had it on my radar for a long time, but I couldn't see it actually the last time I was in." A rare clip of me taking shrink wrap off. So you get the Blu-ray disc, and you also get a poster as well. Can you believe it? And the poster is of that cover that you saw there before. Biddy well, little brother. Biddy well. That's amazing. So great to see this for £2.99 posted. I just can't believe it. So thanks once again to Baz for giving me the heads up on this amazing version, this sort of practically free price. And also thanks to Kelvin and Rob for giving me the 4K, the missing part of the 4K puzzle for me. So thanks for watching, all my little brothers. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.